at this time of the pandemic. It's truly the fishermen and the farmers na nagpapakain sa atin. Ito yung naging very basic sa mga needs natin na nasasagot. At sinong sumasagot? Etong mga mangingisda at mga magsasaka natin.
They are the ones who feeds our mouth. We now say they are the new heroes. And true enough, at the back of me, these are the heroes that we will be talking about.
Ako nga pala po si Rodrick Sabinusa, 45 years old. Taga dito sa bayan ng Suyo.
Ako po si Moses Ducala. Ako po ay taga Suyo sa Sitio Bito. Tatay namin dating magsasaka, gaya ng sabi nila noon na sana mag-aral kami, pero sa hirap ng buhay, di natupad ang mga pangarap namin, pangarap ng aming mga magulang. Kaya nung bata pa ako, talagang magsasaka na ang trabaho namin hanggang sa ngayong kasalukuyan po, ma'am.
Sa mga tanim-tanim namin dito, tanim namin na kamote, palay, saging. Ayun naman kasi yung mga number 1 na produkto namin dito, ma'am. Ang problema namin na number 1 sa kamote, itong presyo. Ito yung talagang may isang malaking problema namin dahil hindi namin na-maintain yung tamang presyo. Minsan, tumataas tapos biglang bababa. Kaya kaming mga farmers nahihirapan. Imbis na umangat ang aming kabuhayan, halos para lalo kaming bumabagsak.
One challenge that is so clear and obvious in the Philippines food value chain is the very thick layer of intermediaries, and this is making the producer's profit very thin and in consumers' price very high.
Umpisa pa lang maganda yung presyo, tapos hindi namin alam kung mga komersyante na yung gumagawa ng paraan para ibaba nila yung presyo. Kami wala kaming magawa. Kung ano yung sabihin nilang presyo, yun lang. Wala kaming magawa, ibigay lang namin kaysa naman sa masira. Kami na may produkto, wala kaming karapatan na magbigay ng presyo. Yung mga komersyante yung talagang nagbibigay ng presyo. Halos lahat kami ng farmers dito sa Suyo talagang nahihirapan.
Kung yung pakiramdam talaga, ma'am, hindi patas talaga yung presyo na tinatanggap namin. Kung kami ay magbibinta at saka kami ang bibili, talagang hindi patas talaga, ma'am. Kaya hindi lang medyo, masakit talaga ang pakiramdam namin na kami naman ang pagkalingan ng mga bigas na binibinta doon sa market. Bakit kami na nagtatrabaho, kami bang talagang dihado kami po.
There is already a study about this, that through the use of new technologies, we can really optimize their profit because there will be no more middlemen.
Digital technology can address this challenge to some extent, not perfectly, by bringing the producers closer to the consumers and without being dependent on the entire, thick layer of intermediaries. But this change will affect so many people. This is not a change just affecting the farmers and the consumers, but everybody in the entire system. So the systemic approach is needed.
This app is a vision of allowing us to democratize the whole food supply chain. Me and some of my good friends in the University of the Philippines and Pocolare was able to coin this word, Bayani kita. And the Bayani kita is actually 4 powerful words in that one word of an app.
Andun yung ani, andun yung kita, at nandun yung pag pinagsama-sama mo sa ating bayan, sila ang ating mga bayani. Kaya parang it's a personal thing whenever we would say, bayani kita. So, ito yung gusto din namin iparating sa mga mangingisda at mga magsasaka natin na kayo ang aming bayani. You're my hero.
they always say about Bayani Kita, it's all about farmers. It is not. It's the full ecosystem. It's both farmers and the consumer, tayo. So it's a collaboration of both stakeholders in this app. That's why it's democratizing the whole Philippines, because all of us are being the stakeholders because we consume all this produce of these farmers, and the farmers themselves who feeds us will now be able to leverage on this digital platform for it now to be realized. And just put it on a marginalized sector where you digitize them. Can you just imagine the power of the tool of using technology, using all these digital platforms for them to be able to participate in a global economy? In fact, Philippines, being an agricultural country, we can even supply the world. And it's a matter of time for us to realize this, because digital is everywhere, anytime, anywhere.
You know, data with the pandemic, it just became so clear and so obvious that it's going to be a source of growth, of innovation, and productivity. At ang nakakatap ng benefits na yan are those who have access to data. So that's why online markets are booming, no? For consumers but also producers. That kind of benefit is only accessible to those who have access to the data superhighway. And those who are marginalized, no, are of course the one who will be even more marginalized, no, kasi mas lumalaki pa yung gap between those who have and those who have not, those who have access to data and those who don't know. If that kind of benefit, if that kind of information, if that kind of facility of access of even the way they can plan their production, the way they can even monitor the weather, even that simple, the farmers were saying, kahit yun man lang sana eh.
Meron po ba kayong smartphone?
Meron po, ma'am.
Meron. Tapos nakaka-connect naman po kayo sa internet.
Opo, ma'am.
Kasama po kayo sa orientation kahapon.
Opo, ma'am.
Kumusta naman po? Ano po yung parang opinion nyo tungkol sa app?
Sa aking pag-aaral, ma'am, talagang napakaganda. Dahil malaking maitutulong sa amin yun para hindi na kami tulad dito sa presyuhan, at malalaman na namin kung ano talaga yung tamang presyo, na hindi tulad nitong mga nakaraan na kung ano yung sabihin ng buyer na ganito yung presyo, ay sunod-sunuran kami. Ngayon ay medyo may karapatan na kami na ano, dahil dito sa programa ninyo, malaking tulong para sa akin. Hindi lang para sa akin, lalo dito sa talagang nakiattend sa kahapon, maraming nagsasabi talagang malaking tulong to. Kung sa pamaraan ng paghahanda naman, ma'am, maganda yan dahil kung sa ngayon malalaman na namin yung mga pararating na sakuna, kahit pa paano may mapapaghandaan na namin yung tulad sa saging. May kaunting paraan na bawasan namin yung mga dahon para hindi siya gaanong pagka naghangin, malakas ang hangin, hindi siya gaanong may maputol man, may matumba man, mangilan-ngilan lang. Hindi katulad ng pagka hindi namin alam yung mga papasok na sakuna, tulad nung itong nakaraan, biglaan, hindi kami nakapaghanda. Kaya wala kami talagang maaasahan sa mga tanim namin ngayon, lalo sa saging. Maraming nagsasabi talagang malaking tulong to. Dahil sa mga pangyayaring ito, alam na natin itong mga presyo, hindi na tayo pwedeng lukulukuhin lang ng mga komersyante, sabi ng mga kasama ko kahapon.
The onboarding activity is really important to bring the users into the picture. This is the initial launch of the system. It may not be perfectly addressing all the needs of the farmers. So onboarding activity is a great venue for the technology provider to really engage in the direct conversation with the farmers and then listen to their voices understand their needs and wants better, so that they can incorporate into the next iteration of the improvement of the system in the future.
Malaking naitutulong po ng digital agriculture kasi po yung mga farmers, madali na po silang makapag-connect sa Department of Agriculture kung meron po silang mga kailangan sabihin, mga hinain na maiparating po para kay Secretary William Dar para po maaksyonan po kung ano man po yung problema po nila sa kanilang pagsasaka po.
If we're able to come up with sustainable approaches to our problems now that are very wicked, no, we need to be able to address it from the macro but also from the micro. At yun yung big collaboration. Yan sana yung bayanihan. Yan yung totoong bayanihan and one Philippines na kailangan sana nating mapatupad. But it takes leadership. It takes leadership not only from the top but leadership from the middle, leadership from the below. You have to have a community of leaders that look at the same vision and having the same objective of uplifting the poorest among us. It takes a whole village to empower our farmers. Data is just one of it, but the whole network of people from the markets to the consolidators, all the way to the agricultural extension workers, to the farmer, yun yung concerted effort that we need to also build on top of the data infrastructure that we're building.
So for this kind of change to happen, all the stakeholders really have to go through the journey of change together by listening to each other. The systemic change has to happen by the stakeholders seeing and sensing the system collectively. So this initiative like today's onboarding is one of the great opportunity to bring the government and then the farmers and then technology providers to be together, although it's not a complete set of the stakeholders. But again, for the systemic change to happen, all the stakeholders must be able to see and sense the system collectively together to accept the change.
Ito siguro ang daan para ang aming pangarap sa buhay ay sana ngayon na ang umpisa para tayong Pilipino lahat, hindi lang kami magsasaka, sana tayong lahat ay uuna sa panibagong sistema ng ating gobyerno po.
Tulad ng sanbinhi, ako ay nagtanong, kailan ba, lilipas ang dilim. Tulad ng sanbinhi, ako ay nagtanong, kailan ba, babangon. Tulad ng sanbinhi, ako ay lumakas, lumaki, lumago sa takdang panahon. Binuhay ng ulan, inaruga ng araw, at mula sa dilim bumangon. Nagbahal na mulat, umasang may bukas, naniwala sangking talino at lakas. Nagbago ang daloy at saysay ng buhay. Tulad ng sanbinhi bumangon. Tulad ng sangpuno na hitik sa bunga, tayo ay nagbuklod at nagsama-sama, nagdiwang sa agos ng damang biyaya, na puno ng damang ligaya. Nagmahal na mulat, umasang may bukas, naniwala sangking talino at lakas, nagbago